Hello, I'm Jabron of the AlloClaw Productions, and Happy New Year! Well, that was a bit weird. Okay, that out of the way, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what's been happening in 2013, the entire year, with my channel, and what I'm going to be doing 2014 with my channel. So, without further ado, let's get started. I am also showing some game footage, so don't really pay attention to that as much as listening to me blab on about the new year and stuff. Now, in the beginning, when I was in high school, I started taking video classes, like classes such as multimedia, where I can do films. But I haven't been very good at some of them since, because I was doing some more photography than I have films, which kind of made me sad because it wasn't too great, and I was supposed to do more films than photography. So what I did then is I made my own films on my own time at that point, and I had these ideas that I wanted to do for films. Now, around the time when I was a junior in high school, I couldn't really do much films as I wanted to, considering the fact that I didn't really know much about it in the first place, at that time, of course. But then when it became my senior year in high school, when I took multimedia class again, which I expected to take video class, but that was canceled for some odd reason, I started doing films better at that point. But some of them turned out to be a bit derpy in most people's opinions, but that didn't really matter to me at that time. I wanted to get in the film industry so badly that I started studying a whole lot more about it at that point, but not as much as I should have. And I didn't practice as many of the shots as I should have. One thing I needed to know is that I needed actors, and fast. But I didn't, well, not too fast, but I just couldn't find much actors for my films. Because there was this one film I did where I only had one actor, and that happened to be one of my best friends. And my second actor didn't really show up at all, so I replaced that actor with an animated sort of figure that was like out of Red Lightning and stuff that I used some special effects on. A lot of the stuff in film production was really hard for me to try and keep up with, considering the fact that I was in high school and I had other stuff to do in high school pretty much, because it was just too hard on me because of everything else that I needed to do. Around the time, and way before I even started high school, I became fascinated with scaly creatures known as reptiles. What I became more interested in, though, were dinosaurs, and one in particular known as Allosaurus, because it has the crests in front, it's 3 claws, and it's fast, and it's a big predator, and it actually hunts in packs, believe it or not. So basically, Allosaurus is a T-Rex, but in like the Jurassic period and stuff like that. Mainly because Allosaurus is an absolute boss, and those of you who like this dinosaur absolutely agree with me. Now that I was done with just being fascinated, I actually studied the dinosaur to find out how good it really was, and to my surprise, back then it was an absolute boss, like I said. So, pretty much yes. And also, I learned that Allosaurus has these claws, and most of the time he would use those claws to slash through prey and sometimes slash out big chunks of meat so he can eat it easier. And then the fact that his arms are a little longer than the T-Rex, about 3 feet to be exact. But pretty much, I mean, I'm not entirely sure that Allosaurus's arms are like 3 feet, but I do know that they are longer than the T-Rex arms, because the T-Rex arms are pretty much like midget-sized. But, yeah. But beside the point, the claws on the Allosaurus is the reason why I created AlloClaw Productions. It's because he's an Allosaurus and he has claws that can tear through flesh and bones and Sorry about that, but anyways, AlloClaw Productions. the idea from Allosaurus being my most favorite dinosaur of all time, and the fact that it has claws that can tear through things, and pretty much, yes, AlloClaw Productions got started. Now I talk about what else I did with the productions. Now, my main goal for AlloClaw Productions was for it to be more of dinosaur based, but not all dinosaur based. And by that I mean, I would do a lot of other films that had nothing to do with dinosaurs, but I would do even more films that had to do with dinosaurs. But the only problem is that what I didn't figure out is that in order for me to do more things based on dinosaurs, I would need to do 3D animations, CGI, 3D modeling, etc. The second plan that I was going to do for AlloClaw Productions was also make a sort of video game, but I will talk about that later. Around the time that I needed actors, there was only one person who acted in most of my films. And I will not say his name, well, mainly because he probably wouldn't want me to in the first place. So yeah. And to my surprise, he was a fairly good actor, and he did what I needed him to do in my films, and he also, the lines were kind of right on, and yeah. After the actor and I did some films and got them critiqued by everyone, including the teachers, got them rated, like sometimes a 9.5 out of 10 at points, but then one of my other friends came to me and said, you should definitely post that on YouTube. And the reason he said that is because it was derpy and hilarious and just ridiculous all around. So, yeah. And one of my films was called Wyvernborn. Well, mainly because I was a big fan of Monster Hunter, and both Monster Hunter and Skyrim. So if you don't know any of those games, go check them out. They're really awesome. And yeah. So I posted Wyvernborn on YouTube, and well, I didn't really get many views on it, considering the fact that I didn't put many tags, and the fact that I didn't really know how to use YouTube much at all, really. But the video was out there, and I doubt many can find it now, because I probably deleted my older YouTube account, and I have absolutely no idea where Wyvernborn is concerning YouTube, and I don't have the files for it anymore, so because it was really old, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of people would want to watch it, but I did great on the film according to a lot of other people. I just didn't do too good on the special effects, to be honest. About a few months later, in the middle of the semester, because of my fascination with dinosaurs, I was playing some dinosaur video games at that time. Some of my favorites were Primal Carnage, Orion Dino Horde, and such, but to be honest, there aren't too many dinosaur games that are that great out there, especially with some of the RPG sort of thing, like role-playing games. There aren't any role-playing games with dinosaurs in them, or any open world-based games. So the only games that they pretty much have are anything to do with Jurassic Park, basically. And it's sort of disappointing, because Jurassic Park wasn't really all that great, to be honest. And most of the dinosaur movies and films and stuff were pretty much just mainly documentaries, and that was very disappointing in my eyes, because I don't see dinosaurs as something to be science-based. I see them as action-packed creatures for like dragons. Dragons are action-packed creatures, and so should dinosaurs be. Most of that is beside the point, because I was playing these video games based on dinosaurs. There weren't very many, and some people have tried to make some video games based on dinosaurs, but they weren't going to be role-playing game based anyway, but they were going to be really good, but they just sort of canceled them for some apparent reasons. Maybe, I have no absolute clue, but again, beside the point, like, I was disappointed that there were no role-playing games based on dinosaurs. So, one of my ideas was to make a dinosaur game that is role-playing based and it's open world and do whatever you want kind of thing as a dinosaur in a prehistoric world where pretty much there's everything, including like biomes where dinosaurs roam around, skies where pteranodons start flapping around and stuff like that. And the game shouldn't really have anything to do with Jurassic Park, because, well, pretty much Primal Carnage has a lot of iconic things to do with Jurassic Park. The game that I'm thinking of should have nothing to do with it, just wilderness with dinosaurs all around, of all sorts, in like wild habitats and natural habitats and things like that. So we came up with the idea of, well, the name is currently in progress, so the name, well, is currently called Paleo Ultimate. The reason being is because Paleo is like a long time ago with dinosaurs and stuff, and Ultimate is because it would be like an ultimate action-packed dinosaur game and things like that, and that it's like role-playing, that you can be able to stat grind as a dinosaur and do whatever you want, like customize your dinosaur and all sorts of stuff. Pretty much an awesome dinosaur game. So, yeah. A lot of my friends agreed with me that this game should be a game. I mean, this idea should be a game, more like it. But we didn't really know anything about making a video game, because I was still doing films, but at the same time, I was gonna try and make this game. There were a lot of problems that came along the way when I was trying to come up with ideas for the game before we even started. One of them was that people telling me that I need to make money so that way I can fund it and things like that, and I would need a whole lot of people to support it on like Kickstarters and stuff, like say Kickstarter, Steam Greenlight and such. But pretty much, yeah. It was until later when I kind of almost gave up on the game, but because if I did give up on the game, there would never be a game based on dinosaurs, which is role-playing, awesome, stat grinding, but not all about the stat grinding, more or less the role-play and the exploration and awesomeness of open world awesomeness of all like dinosaurs and stuff. But I didn't give up, and I still haven't given up, because I've only postponed it. Even now I've postponed it. But until then, I was still doing other things. After a whole lot of trouble going through that, and the fact that I needed to do a lot of stuff for high school, we graduated soon after, in June. And then that's when I started moving on to make an actual YouTube channel, because I got inspired by most of the YouTubers that I've watched who did some films and some gameplays, videos, and such. So that inspired me to do some things like that with AlloClaw Productions. So I started making a YouTube channel the way other YouTubers started making theirs. But I wasn't being too diverse, but I will talk about the diversion later. But, so anyways, I was starting a YouTube channel. I posted some videos on YouTube, including gameplay videos, mostly some about Let's Plays, and some more or less about dinosaur gaming, really. And I also did like some films. I posted new ones, like say my very first one was called, well, Power of the Plumber. That one's goal was to just be hilarious and stuff, and I did other derpy like films that most were called derpy, so I just tagged them as derpy films and stuff like that. And I've also posted Minecraft videos, but those didn't really last long, and other videos and such, but those didn't really last long, including Dragon's Prophet, which wasn't too popular at the time, and probably not even that popular now. And but my most popular videos was pretty much on Primal Carnage, which is basically the iconic version of Jurassic Park. But yeah, but most of my videos weren't really that great anyway. So, and the thing is, I wasn't too popular on YouTube. I only got like say 10 to 11 subscribers, and I've only got hundreds of views on like Primal Carnage videos, and only like very few views on a lot of my other ones. So I made vlogs about what I was gonna do with the channel and whatnot. I said I was gonna do some things, but then they just didn't happen. But I promise, and I promise this, I will come up with videos for 2014, and they're gonna be great. I'm not gonna promise that there's never gonna be any delays, alright? So there are gonna be points in time when I am gonna be busy, especially the fact that I'm gonna go to college soon, and the fact that that I need to start getting going with the Paleo Ultimate game. The open world dinosaur game with awesomeness and RPG status, stat grinding, and just major awesomeness and role-playing awesomeness, everything awesomeness about the game. But it's gonna take a lot of time for that to come, so you better be patient for waiting. And then I stopped doing videos for a while, it's up until Christmas, when I started realizing that I could just start fresh, new at the beginning of a new year, and that that 2014 would be the big number for me for YouTube, and that it would be awesome, that I would have so much fun doing it, and that's why I'm starting with this video that you're watching right now. This is the first video of 2014 on the AlloClaw Productions that you're watching right now that are starting 2014. Now I am going to talk about my plans for videos in 2014. What I am going to be doing for 2014, other than the fact that I need to go to college, that's just something else out of the agenda. What I'm going to be doing for AlloClaw Productions in 2014 is I'm going to learn how to do some CGI and 3D animations and post videos of dinosaurs, finally, maybe. I'm not entirely sure because I don't have the models and it would take me forever, absolutely forever to work on those. So, but I'm not entirely sure what else I'm going to do besides films. I'm going to be starting on some film projects for AlloClaw Productions, and it's going to be awesome. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be great, and a lot of the other things that I'm going to be starting my first production on the Paleo Ultimate soon, but it's gonna take a whole lot of time. Not exactly gonna give you entirely other information on it, because it would concern spoilers. So, yeah, that'll be all for this video. If you enjoyed this 2013 to 2014 video, this New Year video, the first video on January 1st, the New Year's Day! I was yawning while talking. I shouldn't probably do that. But if you did enjoy anyways, well, if you enjoyed, leave a like if you enjoyed, because there was this one video where I've seen someone who was doing same thing I'm doing right now about leaving videos for likes. Someone in some comments was complaining that it's like, no matter how much I like the video, I always dislike it because I'm being told that I should like it. I'm being told to like the video. But that's not the case. Leaving a like is for support. It's for support of the YouTube channel and the videos. So, deal with it, those out there who are like, I will dislike videos, who tell me to like the videos. So, whatever. Just like the video so you can support the channel and pretty much support me as well. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you. I mean, well, by see you, I mean I will make videos, films for 2014. It's amazing. Yeah, yay.